Can I come in?
Of course.
Oh, well, that's handy. You're both here. Saves me a trip. Dan Morris has woken up and I need the two of you to accompany me to the station.
We told you everything we knew last night.
A serious allegation has been made about you, Amy. Dan said you drugged him.
She wouldn't drug anyone. You know it's happened with her and Max. There's no way.
We'll be speaking to you both separately to get to the bottom of this. Amy, I've received information about last night that doesn't match what you told me happened to Dan. Let's start at the beginning, when you first saw him.
Why?
Don't make this any harder than it needs to be. You know why you're here. We've received an allegation that you spiked a man's drink, then took him away against his will.
I was the reason he got medical help. I was the one who took him there.
It's coincidental, isn't it? That you were a victim of this very thing, yet here you are now, being accused of it yourself. How can you explain that?
Hyper-awareness?
Amy, I know you've been through hell. What happened to you shouldn't happen to anyone. But taking matters into your own hands and drugging someone is not the answer.
I told you. He was hitting on me, and then as I went to leave with Addie, he passed out.
Did you drug him, Amy? Yes or no?
I didn't put drugs in his drink. I've changed my mind. I do want a solicitor.
Right, Addie, if you're waiting here with my colleague, I'll be with you shortly.
Is Dan okay?
He slept most of it off. But from the sounds of it, it could have been a lot worse. Addie, you seem like a nice lad. Between now and when I get back, consider your own future. It never ends well when people lie to us. Let's try this again, shall we? I think it was you who spiked his drink, and I want to know why you lied to me about it yesterday.
I didn't. He must have mixed up his drinks. Next thing I know, he's out of it, so I called Addie and we took him to the hospital.
Is Addie a slow driver?
What?
Does he drive a milk float, maybe? Or have car trouble?
Please get to the point, dear Swain.
Why did it take you and Addie 2 hours to drive him from the club to the hospital? It's less than 9 miles away. You could be looking at as much as 5 years in prison here, Amy. You see, the drive from the club to the hospital takes 20 minutes or thereabouts. What were you doing in that missing time?
Well, we got a bit lost. I put the wrong address in the sat-nav. It was halfway around the M60 before we realised.
That's not what Addie said. He claims that you were worried Dan was going to be sick in his dad's car, so you stopped to let him out.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry, it's all just a bit of a blur.
My client was under the influence of alcohol, which she freely admits. Her memory of the evening is bound to be patchy.
So it's possible that Amy's forgotten spiking Dan's drink with tranquilizers and kidnapping him, because that's what he's accusing her of.
And what possible motive would she have for doing that?
We both know Amy's history. Maybe she thought she was handing out justice.
So, you accept that this man is a sexual predator? Perhaps you should be focusing your investigation on that instead of harassing my client.
He could have died.
And thanks to Amy, he didn't. If she wanted to harm him, she wouldn't have taken him to hospital.
Excuse me, Sarge.
Thank you. Interview terminated at 14:02. You're free to go. Dan's been discharged from hospital. He's made a full recovery. And since there's no reasonable prospect of a conviction, we won't be pursuing the case against Amy.
Come now, dear Swain, you will need to do better than that. What's changed?
It's Dan. You found something out about him. I was right, wasn't I?
off the record, Dan's been formally identified by some recent victims of sexual assault. He's now a person of interest in several cases.
So you're gonna arrest him?
Well, I can't share details of an ongoing investigation.
And do it?
Just to be clear, Amy, what you did...
Allegedly did.
What you allegedly did, it could have landed you in prison. I know you're angry we couldn't pursue a prosecution against Darren. I am too. But that does not mean you can take the law into your own hands. Got it?
Got it.